I'm Bo Rogers. I'm the money man with Bank of Texas. I'm here with a friend of mine, Rosemary. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rosemary Busby, Keller Williams Realtor.
We are partners and we make a really good team. It's really cool to have a really good team, especially when it comes from a lender to a realtor, because it's good to be able to openly communicate with somebody, because I mean, not only is she a realtor and we do business together, but she's a friend.
Absolutely.
So to be able to speak honestly about stuff is awesome, because there's no front, there's no games to play. It's, hey Rosemary, here's the deal, and she does the same for me. When it comes to customers, nothing's really sugar coated. And when you're buying a house or financing a house, you really want that, because you have to have communication to make this happen. It doesn't happen without it. What I wanted to talk about today, or what we're going to talk about today, is we're going to talk about appraisals and
the appraisal process.
the process.
Because neither of us are appraisers, and therefore we can't speak directly to that other than the appraisal process.
Right. I can't even talk to an appraiser anyway, or I'd get fired, because I have a vested interest. Back before 2008, we were able to talk to appraisers, but we can no longer do that. There's no wink deals on, hey, I need this house to appraise for this amount of money, or you can't just take out your wallet and say, hey, I need $450 for this house. It does not work like that anymore.
No.
And nor should it have ever worked, but it definitely doesn't work that way today. But I think appraisers are good. The reason appraisals are good is not only it's bank mandated, like when I do a loan for you, my bank needs to know that this is the value of this house. And the reason they need to know that is because if for any reason, and we hope it never happens, that a house is foreclosed on, the bank has to be able to keep money even with the loan that you took out to buy the house. So appraisals give us that value. But what happens if an appraisal comes in low, Rosemary?
Everybody panics is the first step. Then a good realtor will stop and say, okay, why is it low? First of all, a good realtor would know whether or not it might come back low, because the realtor is going to do a comparative market analysis, CMA as we call it, to see what the comps are in the area. And that should be what your offer to buy the house is based upon. However, sometimes we have buyers who want a house so bad, and especially in today's market, right, where we have low inventory, not a lot of houses are listed for sale. We have a lot more buyers right now than we do sellers. So a lot of times with that situation, then buyers are saying, I'll pay list price or list price plus. So then if the appraisal doesn't come back for the list price, it doesn't appraise for that price or the additional amount that the buyer is offering to pay for it, then you've got to make up the difference.
So there's three options, right? Like, say for instance, an appraisal comes in, you're fine because you've already planned for this. But what are the other options? Like, let's say the appraisal comes in low. What options does the buyer have at that point?
The buyer can agree to bring the difference in the appraisal amount, the amount the bank's going to lend, or agree to keep to be on the hook for it, and the amount, the offer price, the agreed sell amount. They can do that. If someone has that kind of cash sitting there and wants the house badly enough, then they can do that. They can bring that additional cash to the closing table, and that's fine. That's certainly an option, and we all like that when that happens, because that makes it easy.
That makes it really easy. Other option. Option two.
Option two is renegotiate with the seller, right? And get the seller to drop his or her list price. offer price, not offer price, sales price, the agreed upon amount of the sale.
Reduce the amount on the purchase contract.
Thank you. That's a better way to say that. Sometimes they're not willing to do that. The problem is that if it's an FHA loan that the buyer has, that FHA appraisal will stick with the house for 120 days, which means the seller is going to have to reduce his, if he bails out of the current deal, puts it back on the market, he's going to have to reduce his list price.
Maybe. Or
Maybe.
He has to disclose
He has to disclose,
that it appraised for this.
right, because the appraisal will stick with the house, whether it's an FHA loan or not.
Ooh, that's good information right there. So when somebody renegotiates, something that I came up against is a lot of folks will come to me and say, hey, can there be a reconsideration on the value of this home? And I'll be honest with you, only maybe 10% of reconsiderations actually add value to a home. It's very hard to prove because you're talking to the same appraiser. You're working with the same appraiser that set this value on a house. So you need to have evidence that maybe they missed the square footage or they missed something that's spectacular about that house that adds value to that house for him or her to reconsider the value of the home.
Or another comp, if there was another comp close by
in the area.
There are certain parameters, and appraisers, they make it look easy. You think, because they're only in your house for like 45 minutes sometimes, so you think, wow, that was easy, I hope it's good.
How many hours did they spend doing comps before that?
Oh my word. Appraisers, to become an appraiser it's grueling. It is a long term. They have to be an apprentice for a certain amount of time, and I believe to become a master certified appraiser is like 200 hours of education, which is amazing. That's a lot of it. Yeah, a lot of education. So just because they make it look easy doesn't mean it's easy. So when they look at the comps in the area, the other properties surrounding the target property, the property that you're going to buy, they know pretty much what's around there. Doesn't mean they're infallible.
True.
You certainly have the right to ask for a reconsideration, but like Bo said, it doesn't happen often.
Yeah. You should always, so when you're listing a house or you're buying a house, you should definitely listen to your realtor. I know in today's world, we think we're smart and we can look at Zillow or we can look at a CAD or we can talk about the house that the neighbor listed and my house is so much bigger. But listen to your realtor's advice. If you want to sell your house or if you want to buy a house for fair market value, just listen to your realtor. They know what they're talking about. They know your area. They do their homework. I know doing loans looks easy. It's like, okay, you took an application, you collected my documents, you're done. There's way more thought into it and into the process than just that. I'm always thinking about other things too, like what's a 10-year treasury bond doing? Can I get this customer a lower interest rate? Can this customer save money if they do a 20-year versus a 30-year? Can they afford, I want to make sure that not only am I taking care of you as far as a home loan, but I'm looking down the line for you because I want to think of your financial future because, I have other friends that are financial advisors and planners. We always want what's best for you because we're forming a relationship with you. We're helping you to buy your biggest ticket item. We're truly looking out for you, and we're looking out for your insurance. I want to make sure you're getting a fair deal on your insurance. I I want to make sure that you're getting your primary residence. I want to make sure it's homestead to where you're not missing out on tax cuts. We're always here to help you, but appraisers are really necessary. They're really good, but always listen to your realtor too, because they know ahead of time.
Realtors don't do an appraisal. What we give is a fair market opinion, a comparable market opinion. We look at the comps that are in the area, again, houses that are on the market or have sold recently within a certain area around the target property. It's not the same as an appraisal. If you look at an analysis, a market analysis, and it doesn't match the appraisal from the appraiser, say that 4 times fast, the one you want to go with is the appraiser.
Right.
The appraisal. You want to trust him. But going into it, a realtor, a good realtor, will know and be able to get within a reasonable percentage of agreement with what an appraiser is going to tell you the property is worth. We know ahead of time. We do that before we talk to you on the listing appointment. All right? We may adjust it a little bit after we've seen the condition of the house, but we know ahead of time, and we will give you the range. Now, the owner, absolutely, the seller absolutely has the right to put that property at whatever market price they want to. It's their property. But like Bo said, please listen to the educated information that a realtor gives you.
We're not new to this. You may be an electrician, you may be a computer engineer, maybe you're a software engineer, but this is what we do. We know what we're doing. Seeing 1,000 transactions over my course of time. Please listen to your realtor.
Absolutely.
And good luck, we're ready.
We are, let's do this.
Yeah,
The inventory in the market is very low on inventory. So
Sell your house.
If you're thinking about selling, now's the time to do it. You can get a better interest rate, buy that larger house,
Or downsize.
Or downsize if that's what you want. You know? And by the way, if you've taken forbearance, think about refi or think about selling. Don't wait until the forbearance is up.
Yeah.
Start it now.
And if you're in forbearance and you're looking to refinance, I've got bad news for you. I have to be able to prove that you're out of forbearance, and you have to be paid up in order to refi. So not only do you have to be out of forbearance, like I have to see it on your credit report, because once you're in forbearance, it's on your credit report, it's going to show up. And then it's going to show that you've missed 3 payments, 4, whatever the case is. In order to refi, that has to be paid in full forward. You're out of forbearance to be able to refinance it. The other way out of it is to sell your house.
Call me, Rosemary Busby, Keller Williams Realtor.
Thank you so much for your time. I hope the video is educational to you. I'm sure it will be. And if there's anything we can do to help you, just contact us on the link that's on the video.